Yeah, we had discussions. I called out on Monday morning just to explain to him my side of what happened out there. Obviously, different perspectives depending on where you're sitting, right? And from inside the car is a unique one. So I wanted to let them know what that was. Then we had more conversations with our council meeting we had later in the week. It's not a good system that we got, and it's been the same one we've had for the last year and a half, and the issue's been the same. That's where the frustration obviously came from, is that it's the fourth time it happened to me, and I'm in the same scenario. So obviously I'm frustrated about that, but it's there's some options out there. None of them are great, so we just keep thinking on it.
Are you surprised how much that little in-car camera that NASCAR had picked up?
Yeah, it really took off, didn't it? You know, here's the thing, Bob. I think everybody at some point in their life, it was sitting in a traffic jam, and it probably said the same exact words to the car in front of them, but no one was recording. I didn't hit the button. I thought I was doing a good job at not hitting the talk button, but it turns out there's other cameras that can still hear me. So, yeah. It'll live forever, won't it? It's gonna live forever.
I guess when you go back to Pocono, you have to talk to those guys, or maybe those guys do other races. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't exactly just calling them that, so I was just frustrated, and I don't think any of them actually heard me, which makes it a little better. Well, I'm sure they have now, but at the moment, no. But yeah, probably didn't use the correct choice of words, but you gotta understand the situation, right, a little bit, right? I was just saying, it's the fourth time that's happened to me in the last year and a half. So obviously you're frustrated from that. I'm still racing at the moment. I might be sitting there on 4 flat tires, but I don't know how bad my car's wrecked. So I'm thinking I gotta get back to the pits as quickly as possible. Obviously the urgency is not the same for a safety crew as it is for a racer, right? Because I'm still thinking I can get some wave rounds. It's early in the race. I'll be the only car down a lap. I got a chance here. And so I'm thinking I gotta get my car back as quickly as possible. I'm trying to communicate to the person next to me that can't hear me very well. Obviously I was yelling, he could not hear me still, that I need to get towed. Then after I said I need to get towed, I started getting moved and pushed instead of towed. Well, then I go to a whole nother level of mad. So there's a lot of things that kind of got to that point that really frustrated me. So bottom line is we need a better way of doing it, right? No one's in a good spot there. It's not fair to the safety workers. It's not fair to the racers that to be put in that spot to where just flat tires can ruin your day. It's happened to me. Like I said, that's the fourth time. It's happened to probably every single driver in a garage. It's a broken system. Something is wrong. We need to figure out a way to do it better. There's some alternatives that I don't know if it's any better that are out there. Like I said, I had a lot of conversations. I called out on Monday morning. I said, hey, I almost want to talk about it. And then we had a council meeting on Thursday, and we talked about it some more. It's just not there's definitely options, but none of them are simple.
I'm trying to understand situations. How should I understand the Hamlin-Larson move at the end of the Pocono race? Is that a fair move, or is it not like, I mean, we always see like a bump and run at the end, and we're like, okay, well, maybe a little bit sketchy, but you know, it's for the win. Do we look at this the same way, or is this different?
Not my deal. I'm out. I had no part of it. I wasn't even in the race, so I wasn't driving either one of their cars. I mean, they made contact for the win. I don't know what you want me to tell you after that. Like, okay, like as a driver, you watch all that, you know what everyone's willing to do and what's going to happen, and we all watch it just like any other race fan would. And we're entertained and interested, and obviously it could affect us someday, so we keep all that stuff in mind.
So, will you change what you're willing to do after seeing how that played out?
I know what I'm willing to do to win races, right? And that's kind of where it sits. Now I know what the 11's willing to do. I know what the 5's willing to do. Like I kind of have an idea, right? And when you've been doing it long enough, you kind of have an idea what everyone's going to do at that point, right? How bad does somebody want it and what they're going to do to get that win. We all been racing each other every single weekend for the last, well, at least for me, the last 15 years, the majority of them. So, yeah, it's not surprising. Nothing's surprising. I mean, you kind of have an idea what everyone's going to do.
You're obviously laughing about it now, but knowing that a hot mic is in the car with you and can't pick up what you say, will that change what you potentially say in the future, given a similar situation?
Probably some of it, but I mean the urgency still would be there because I need to get back as quickly as I can. So the urgency is real. So I don't know what else like. Maybe I could have cleaned it up a little bit, but I was mad. So I'm sure all of us have said things when you're mad that you might regret. And so cool that everyone got to hear it.
Go ahead.
Did you see Bubba Wallace's video of the go-kart with your audio?
I did.
Did that at least give you a good laugh?
I laughed. Whatever. Whatever makes everyone happy these days. I don't. Whatever. I mean, we all got a good laugh at. Listen, I go back and watch the video and crack up laughing too. So it's pretty funny. Now, I wasn't at the time, but now it's pretty funny.
You have one of the best records here at Richmond over the past decade. What is it about this track that just suits your driving style so well?
I really enjoy it. I think this racetrack puts on great racing, but I think there's just certain drivers that it clicks with, and certain things you need to look for in your car, long run versus short run, how hard you drive your car, all that stuff. Like the wore out surfaces are just fun for me, right? Because you don't have to be a hammerhead every lap, right? You don't have to just go hard as you can and never pay a price. Like you pay a price for going too fast here. So I think that's fun to kind of work that balance of when do you go, when do you not go, how do you manage your car, your tires, your balance, all that stuff's pretty fun. And the strategy of it's pretty fun here recently. With the way the stages are working out, kind of right in the middle of, can we split the stage a couple times and be faster or not? Like it's right on the edge, and where you run out of tires, it gets pretty interesting.
Byron was in here earlier and mentioned that in this race last year, you led over 200 laps and then obviously went to Phoenix and dominated. How much of a precursor for Phoenix is Richmond?
It's pretty different. Pretty different racetrack, looking for different things. Setups are different. I don't think there's a whole bunch that adds to it. I mean, we were good at short tracks last year a lot, and probably still are. It's probably our strong suit. So, as a team, as a driver, Paul, myself, like it seems like our strengths typically.